Hello and welcome. I'm Mrs. Van Buskirk, and I'm going to give you a very quick review on the nursing process. As you know from your reading and your discussions, the nursing process is a 5-step process that includes the assessment of the patient, completing a nursing diagnosis, which is different than a medical diagnosis, putting a plan together, which is setting goals for the patient, working with the patient to achieve these goals. Implementation is providing education to the patient on how their goals can be achieved. And then evaluation. With the implementation that we put in place, how did the patient do? We might not always be able to see the evaluation of the patient, but we can certainly get an idea. And for study purposes, if you don't have the time to be with the patient and see the evaluation, then you can evaluate on what you want to happen and what you think should happen depending on the plan that you put in place. And then always added to the nursing process, at least by me, is education. How are we going to educate the patient so first of all they heal, and secondly whatever happened doesn't happen again? Over here I've submitted a video for you to look at. This is through nursern.com. She does great videos on a plethora of nursing topics, and they're always excellent and have great information. So feel free to watch that at your leisure. So let's quickly apply the nursing process to our guy right here. If you want to look at him, we'll call him John for lack of a better name. John has a bit of a weight problem going on here. This abdomen right here is a cardiac accident waiting to happen. So we got to help him get rid of it. So let's say our assessment is patient is morbidly obese. Guessing by his abdominal weight, the weight I can see on his back, and even the size of his arms, I'm going to guess that his BMI is over 35. If not, it's certainly close, and that would consider him to be morbidly obese. So let's go with the diagnosis of impaired nutrition more than the body requires. Remember, he's morbidly obese. That's the medical diagnosis, and impaired nutrition is our nursing diagnosis. From that diagnosis, we can choose interventions and create a plan, and our plan is a goal. And I can look at 3 things in this picture that our guy needs to achieve optimum health. First of all, he needs to drop some weight. So let's put our first goal as patient will lose 20 pounds within the next 6 months. Number 2, this is a beer here. Beer does a lot of things. First of all, it adds calories galore. It increases the blood sugar, it raises the blood pressure, and it sets our already obese guy up for a cardiac event that we want to stop. So second goal, we have lose weight. The second one is limit or obliterate the consumption of alcohol. And then I'm looking over here at this sandwich, and I'm guessing our guy probably doesn't usually eat the best foods. This sandwich here is high in carbohydrate. If you look, there's this little tiny piece of lettuce, but then there's all these cold cuts that are nothing but fat and salt. So again, carbohydrate raises the blood sugar. All of this fat and salt raises the blood pressure, increases fluid retention, and puts stress on the heart. So we're going to talk to him about eliminating fast foods from his diet. So those are 3 goals or 3 plans that we have. And now we have to implement them. So our implementation is strategies that we can give the patient so he can lose weight. Maybe it's to join a weight loss support group. Maybe it's to join a gym or a health club. Maybe we need to, depending on how much beer he drinks and how often, maybe he needs some sort of alcohol support system. So we can put all of those things together to help this patient achieve his weight loss goals. Then we have to evaluate them. Now we might not see this patient again for 6 months, so doing an evaluation for a nursing care plan in school would not be practical. But we can certainly evaluate him based on what we want to happen or what evidence-based practice or statistics will tell us will happen if the patient follows the implementation that we have designed for him. And then always, and probably most important, educate the patient on what we're doing and why we're doing it and how it's going to benefit their health. So that's the nursing process in a nutshell, but let's look at evidence-based practice and see how it ties in. I went to the Hack library and I got on my favorite database, which is EBSCOhost, and I typed in obesity in men and asked for a search result. I asked for only scholarly articles within the last 5 years. 63,803 options came up, and I chose one. This is Men and Obesity and What Are the Issues? And you can see it's a scholarly article. It was written in February of 2017, and it can be found on Academic Search Complete, should you care to look at this article. When I looked through the article, it gave me some information. We assessed our man to be morbidly obese, and guess what? 31.1% of men in the U.S. are obese. We diagnosed him as imbalanced nutrition. This article says Americans eat too much and too often. We put together a plan for a weight loss program, alcohol reduction. This article says most Americans should be on diets that are low in calories and balance protein and carbohydrate appropriately, as well as exercise. And implementation. We have given him resources for structured weight loss programs, gyms, maybe alcohol reduction. And guess what? Evidence-based practice says structured weight loss plans are necessary. And then when we evaluate it, our weight loss plan works if it's followed. And the article goes on to say what Americans need as far as education and encouragement on weight loss. This is just a quick video on the nursing process and evidence-based practice and how they connect to each other. I look forward to seeing you in class and reading your discussions and other activities posted for this week. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.